The Honourable Paseta Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, it's a pleasure to speak on this, the second reading of this cognate bill, and I'll just touch really on the extended supervision orders, the part of the cognate bill for which I'm responsible for. Sir, the arguments for this second reading, which I support, have already been espoused quite eloquently by previous speakers, but I want to say that the enhanced regime that the previous speaker just spoke about, it is about ensuring that the public are protected, particularly from high-risk offenders when they finish a finite prison sentence and they don't meet the criteria for further detention under a public protection order. So the Extended Supervision Orders Amendment Bill, or ESO Bill as it's come to be known, enhances the current regime in two different ways. First, sir, the amendments enable ESOs to be renewed as long as they are needed, not for a 10-year finite period, as has been espoused, but when they are needed. Secondly, the scope of ESOs, which are currently only for child sex offenders, has been expanded to include adult sex offenders and very high-risk violent offenders. And, sir, that is important and an issue which clearly is widely supported across this House. So the Law and Order Committee received 4 written submissions on the bill, and they heard from one of the submitters. And I want to thank the committee, particularly the chair, Mike Sabin, for hearing these submissions and dealing with this bill in an expedient way, given the urgency within which we need to pass the bill in order to meet the demand, I suppose, to close down this loophole, which will appear early next year. And most of the submitters supported the objective of the bill to protect the public from serious sexual and violent offending, sir, from a small but very dangerous group of offenders. Now, we've obviously heard the counter-argument around the Bill of Rights implications, sir, but the committee carefully considered that issue, and the bill really includes appropriate safeguards to mitigate those Bill of Rights implications. And they include, sir, to orders being subject to mandatory reviews by the courts, and also that the parole board is required to review some of the most stringent conditions every 2 years. So this means that those orders are only in place for as long as an offender's risk of serious harm is warranted by the public. So, sir, in the public interest, clearly, if offenders still pose a risk to our communities at the end of their sentence, then corrections needs that ability to be able to manage them appropriately and safely in our communities. That's what this bill does. That's why members around this parliament are supporting this bill. It's got widespread support across this parliament, and that's why I'm supporting this bill.
Right. The question is that the amendments to the Public Safety Public Protection Orders Bill recommended by the Justice and Electoral Committee by majority be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary opinion, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that the Public Safety Public Protection Orders Bill be now read a second time. Those that are of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote called for. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
60 in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
32 in favour.
Green Party.
14 opposed.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
2 in favour.
Act New Zealand.
1 in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
The ayes are 107, the noes are 14. The bill is read a second time.
Public Safety Public Protection Orders Bill, second reading.
The question now is that the Parole Extended Supervision Orders Amendment Bill be now read a second time. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary will say no. The ayes have it.
Parole Extended Supervision Orders Amendment Bill, second reading.
These bills are set down for committee stage next sitting day. I call on Government Order of the Day number 4.
Interrupted debate on the second reading of the Parole Amendment Bill.
On the last occasion